Okay, Andrey, I think we'll start off. So at Creative Mobile, we've worked closely with Microsoft. We started out in Google when iOS, but also ported some of our top-end games to the Windows platform for mobile, but also for PC. So I think they can offer a very interesting cross-platform experience. Over to you.
Yeah. Do you hear me well? Everything's fine? Good. We'll start to go. Thanks, Paul. My name is Andrey. I'm working for Microsoft as a technical evangelism unit lead for Russia. And I'm responsible for a huge amount of different stories and engagements with developers and IT pros all over the Russia and all CIS countries. Today I will be delivering a session about Windows 10 ecosystem and how our ecosystem fits the gaming world. The game developers pretty familiar with Windows 10 and Windows 8 and all other Windows on desktop, kind of familiar with Windows phones, and familiar with other devices. So here you see our long journey to unified core for our Windows devices. You see the story for Xbox. We started from Xbox 360, moved to Xbox One using Windows 8 runtime and kernel. We started with Windows Phone, moved to Windows Phone 8 with the same approach, and we launched Windows 8 a couple of years ago. Then we were moving forward in integrating our universal app, universal application development model to make it more easy and more convenient for developers to use to port their apps and games. And now on Windows 10, we see that whole this industry converged finally to one platform with one store and one story to tell to all developers and one platform to feed to land your game on all these devices. Speaking about the devices, there are a huge amount of them with different form factors like a phone, tablets, laptops, PCs, Xboxes, all-in-ones, and any other device that you could imagine. Even IoT devices could play your games if you want to. So all enterprise industry computers would run UWP applications and would support the whole story of gaming. Of course, HoloLens. I'll speak about it a bit later. If you've been on Valentin's session about Unity 5.4, and Unity is now the one and only solution for developing games for holograms and for HoloLens. So there are not many of us here. How many of you are developing something for Windows? Yay! Five people in the room. Cool. So my goal here to invite you to interesting journey to Windows world and to port your games and your solution, your creative ideas to our platform. So probably that's the initial task that I'm usually paying for, to evangelize you guys to use our platform as your, maybe not primary, but the secondary option for landing your games. So right now, we've hosted a conference build for 2 weeks ago, probably in San Francisco, and we announced that 270 devices are already on Windows 10. So this is a huge number, and the devices amount and conversion amount, upgrade amount, growing as fast as it's possible right now in our current install base, and it's about 40 or 50% more than Windows 7 adoption. So right now, Windows 10 is the most fast-growing operating system in the world. We're proud of it. Of course, the numbers could be better, and we're aiming to hit 1 billion devices in a year and a half, but this is an aspirational goal, and we right now in a good shape to move forward. So what's the Windows 10 all about? Why you should care and why it's important for all of you to think about that? 270 million of devices from desktops to mobile phones and HoloLenses and Xboxes. It's a huge addressable market. 270 million of people could play your game, could try your ideas on their devices in the pocket, on the local PC, on the laptop, or on their living room Xbox solution. Smart engagement, you could always contact and you could always provide the right solution and right, let's call it, right approach to handle users from different platforms. So you could provide different experiences for different devices from different platforms. If you want to engage more with touch, you could adapt your game to be more touch-friendly for phones and for tablets. If you want to invite more desktop users, you could do it with integrating mouse and keyboard support. If you want to provide better console experience, you're adding the gamepad support and providing huge providing opportunity to play your game from the big screen like a TV or any maybe projector in some living rooms. So there are lots of interesting stories to adopt your game. So using the same code, the same game, but with different layouts and different setups for different devices. You are using one store to deliver this game to all of these players and users. The one store means that you have an opportunity to sell this game once on a phone and provide the access to the same game for users on any device, like a laptop or Xbox. So user wouldn't spend more money and would just continue playing on the same behavior that he started on the phone, just on Xbox. He would save the game into the cloud. He would continue playing this game from Xbox, and vice versa. So of course, it's a huge story, and we're also happy to announce that, not announce, but just highlight that DirectX 12 is the best solution for doing high-performance games with high-quality 3D animation, and Unity helping us a lot here too. So how it works? So you're starting from any small, big, or medium device and doing one similar game using the C or C++, using DirectX 12, and building a game on top of Windows runtime. It's pretty familiar for any of you who are already developing Windows apps and games, and would be probably easy to land for all of you that using some middleware solutions, but not familiar with Windows 10 ecosystem and Windows development. So here's an example of one of these games. It's Hello Spartan Strike. It's our first party title. So Hello is our franchise, and we landed first of these mobile games, Hello Spartan Assault, on the whole devices, including iOS and Android. And we're also proud that the second version of the game, Spartan Strike, landed on whole devices too, and it's easy to use. It's UWP, Universal Windows App. It's available everywhere and uses the similar principles that I was speaking before. So how it works? It's all about Universal Windows Platform. So we're using the same app model. We're using similar packaging. We just package the game, compile it for different platforms, and publish into our store. So any version of the device would access the right packages and install it on the device easily, flawlessly, without any disturbance. It's easy to update because you're updating the similar bits and you're developing your initial code on the one project, and then you're just doing the different builds for different platforms on the Windows and uploading to the store. It's easy, convenient. For licensing, I already mentioned that you could just do transparent licensing when you use one purchase for one app or one game, because it's really one game on all the devices. It doesn't matter from what device you're accessing the store. You're using one license for buying the game for $1, $10, $100, and you're available to play it everywhere. So it's really good experiences for any users to experience experiences. You understand my idea. So the tools and APIs are the same. If we're speaking about Windows 10, all the devices that run Windows 10 use the same APIs that you could use to do the game. You just need to be aware about the screen sizes and the inputs and outputs of the devices that you need to adopt. It's fully relevant for Windows on PCs, Windows on phones and Xboxes, and for any other devices too. So what's about any devices? Any other devices that I'm trying to mention? Of course, I'm speaking about HoloLens. I know that all of you were speaking about HoloLens before in the session of Unity. Who already tried HoloLens or seen it? Okay. Valentin, you're from Unity. Of course you tried it. So who's seen the videos about HoloLens? Yay. It's almost 1/4 of the room. So for all of you, these videos are real. The experience is pretty same. It's not kind of fake kind of videos that are using CGI or etc. It's real videos recorded for a special set-up camera and the real HoloLens devices. But the experience that you feel yourself when you're wearing the device is pretty much more natural. You are living in the world with holograms around you. So what's the difference between VR and AR and holographic computing that we're speaking about? When speaking about VR, we are hiding from the real world in the virtual world. We are trying to fit ourselves in some fictional idea of the world that we are trying to live in, and experience that we are magic knight in some fantasy world with a sword in our hand and trying to fight a dragon. Or you are a pilot of spaceship. Or there are lots of different examples that you are trying to pretend to be someone else. Speaking about AR, it's a story behind the Google Glass and other devices that you're trying to adopt your world with some notifications and some other objects flying around you that probably would help you to live more efficient. The story is not very compelling because all the devices that launched with AR story are not selling well. Google Glass were closed, and probably the next big thing is holographic computing. So right now, HoloLens is one of the biggest players on that story, and we are proud to announce that we are already shipping HoloLens devices, the developer kits, for all developers that already ordered in HoloLens.com. So what's it's all about? HoloLens is the device that scans the surfaces around you, understanding in what room you're staying in, and what the environment around you, and how you could embed the real or unreal 3D objects to your environment that you're living in. So, for example, I want to create a virtual dog, and I just put it running in this room. So it could just run away behind this wallpaper, and I wouldn't see this dog. But then it turns back, and I see it again. So HoloLens provide you experiences of mixed reality. When you adopt your reality and augmenting it with the real, not the real, virtual objects, but you feel that they are real because they behave like a real objects. In maybe 5 or 10 years, we would see that the technology could adopt as fast that we even couldn't recognize the reality of the object we're seeing behind us. So the quality of the picture, the quality of rendering and quality of scanning the surfaces could provide the experience that we're speaking with real person in front of us, but this person would be hologram. And it's that reality that taking place almost today. So it's working prototypes all around us, and you could already try SDKs and order your own kit, of course only for US and Canada delivery from HoloLens.com. Oh, of course, it's fully capable Windows 10 PC, so all UWP apps that, or your games that are running through the store could be accessed through HoloLens. You could stick it on the wall, resize it as much as you want, pretending it's kind of a TV and you're playing with TV. You're connecting the gamepad or keyboard or mouse, and you're playing your game on a huge screen in mixed reality. That really works, and I experienced that many times, and it's always hard to tell this story in front of people that are not aware that this technology even exists. Because, of course, who of you think that all this story is fake, and I'm telling the bullshit? Great. So I'm doing my job well. So right now, you could access HoloLens.com and try to order your developer edition right now. And it costs about $3,000, and it will be shipped somewhere next year. Because right now, there are only 4th wave of orders available, and there's huge demand of the device. So probably, if you want to get it as soon as possible, you already should be in the program. You should already be ordering one. Or you should monitor eBay or other sites to find the device that someone is selling after playing with it for a while. So here I have some video. Could you please just turn a bit lights to make sure that we could see it? Okay, great.
Previously, we've shown you how HoloLens
that
can place amazing
we demonstrated
holograms
of
in your
playing
world.
X-ray
How
game
those
on the
holograms
first,
interact with the environment
probably
around
it was
you.
in January when we were
But
announcing,
today,
on November, when we were
want to
announcing
take
that devices
mixed
would be available
reality
for pre-order.
one step further. So we've got something new to show you. Holograms you can hold. This holographic gauntlet is the weapon that Dan will be using while playing Project X-Ray. you'll notice that as he moves his arm, the hologram moves as well. This is a wearable hologram. And when you combine technology like this with the environment understanding of HoloLens, you can do some pretty spectacular things. Nice. All right, let's battle some robots. With HoloLens, you're completely untethered, which means Dan is free to move around as he shoots at enemies and avoids their fire. With HoloLens, the action happens all around you. And thanks to spatial sound, you'll hear the gameplay as though it's happening in your room. You'll notice that the robots know where the walls and the furniture are, and they can use that knowledge to navigate and plan attacks against you. Since each room is unique, every game is customized to you. That didn't work. What else you got?
Vortex mode.
Holograms behave just like real objects. They can interact with the environment and with each other. For larger enemies with more powerful weapons, Dan can even use his shield to defend himself. Nicely done. Looks like that's all of them.
That's the real demo. I experienced it 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's really, really, really cool. It's built on Unity by our Microsoft Studios in Redmond. And this is one of the games that are already available in the store. As soon as you get your hands on the HoloLens, you could try it, download it, and play it. That's as easy as that. So next step, when we're done with Holo, we could speak about Project Centennial. Project Centennial is the kind of a bridge that we announced a year ago on the last build that provide all developers who are building desktop apps and desktop games opportunity to convert them to UWPs. So you're getting your game that's available on Steam, developers for Windows, and you package it in the shape that would be available to fit in our Universal Store, and you would be able to deliver this application to all desktop devices from these 270 million of Windows 10 on the market. So what's it all about? It's a full-size desktop app converter. It used the special tool set that would provide the kind of sandbox experience for a Windows desktop app. So it's pretty similar like making all these fancy portable apps that fits on a flash drive, and we could move with them all over the world, just fitting it in the laptop, and we don't need to install them on the system. So this is pretty similar story, but for UWP. So you're using your MSI installer, converting it to APX, and then putting it into the store. So you're testing, updating, modifying the app, and applying it to the store to distribute for all developers all over the world. So you're getting the huge addressable market for your desktop app, and you're free to use it for any of your existing desktop applications, but in UWP form. So why it's important? UWP provides you a huge amount of experiences on top of the store. You can see that on the first step, on step 0, we have just regular Win3 app. It's MSI installer, pretty familiar for anyone who are trying to install Windows apps and games. It runs on a desktop, but we're going to convert it somehow to UWP. So we are using this package, a converter, to put it up in the sandbox. We're running the same code. We could engage with the audiences, doing some modern stuff like updates, in-app purchase, and all other ideas that we have in mind. So we could sell it on the Windows Store as any app. So not just distributing via any other solutions. So pretty similar story that we have in Steam. Next step, when we're trying to embed it into the system, because we have live tiles, we have notification hubs, we have huge amount of native Windows solutions to make life of a player better. And we could do it inside the classic app. So we could use and engage UWP APIs inside of the app and provide this experience to our users. Oh, here there's also Cortana and all other cool features that we announced in Windows 10. Then we are trying to do some mixed environments. So we have our native code ported from our desktop app, and we're running some XAML UIs in front of this app. So if we want to modify a view and adapt it to any screens and do all this fancy stuff that we are available to do with UWPs, we could do it with our desktop app too. That's step 3. So I'm telling the story how we could move from fully desktop app to full UWP app using this project. So next step, when we are using the project, we are trying to move all the compatible code from to UWP from our native app. So for gaming story, it's not more convenient, but maybe there are some engines or middlewares that you are developing by your own, not using some available on the market ones. So it's important for you to understand how it should work. And the final stage, when we are having fully UWP app available on any platform, working on any devices. You need to be aware that we are speaking about porting Win32 apps, and Win32 apps probably wouldn't work on phones, because phones is built on IRM mostly. It wouldn't work properly on Xbox, because it needs to be modified a bit. But when you move to full UWP, you would be available to run your app or your game on any of these devices. So that's the initial goal. And of course on HoloLens that I discussed before. So if you want to try it now, I set up a special short link for you, because it was made publicly available probably this morning. So it's brand new, nobody ever tried it, and it was sent via our Twitter somewhere between 6 and 7 a.m. So here is the link for you. Please try. You could also share your opinion with us, and if you want to modify it a bit, or if you have any proposals how we could tune in this story, please tell us. It would be really valuable. And if everyone took a picture, or we are building films, so you could get the recording, so it's not a big deal. I'll moving forward too. So how many time we have left? 4 minutes. Oh, 4 minutes, so we'll be fast and fluent. So store. You're already aware that store is one for any devices. So here you see the picture of Windows 10 Store on PCs, and you see the Windows 10 Store on mobile. They're pretty same. The experience is the same. It's the same universal app. So Store is universal app too, distributing these universal apps. It's as easy as that. You need to think about fitting all sizes of devices, because the behavior of your game should be different for a small size screen and for a huge size screen, because nobody wants to click the huge control buttons on the huge screen of their tablet, but it's pretty familiar to click these buttons on the small size screen. So it should be responsible, adaptive, and scaling, depending on what kind of game you're building and what kind of behavior from users you're expecting. So Dev Center, we have unified Dev Center. You could register there. It's dev.windows.com, nothing unusual. You're doing registration once. You have no fees for registration, and you could do whatever you want. You could publish all the games and all the apps you want for any devices from one place. That's cool. There are lots of stuff in there. Just go and dig into it. So what about consoles? We have 3 or 2 minutes left, so I will be as fast as I can. So speaking about consoles and Xbox mostly, we are doing the indie engagements with Xbox guys, mostly on Idea to Xbox program. Slides is not very bright, but here is the Idea to Xbox story when we're trying to embed Xbox Live SDK to all the games that you are delivering on the store. So, of course, you know that there's classic games on Win32, there are universal games that could be just regular game or Xbox-powered game. So if you want to get the better engagements and provide users some leaderboards, achievements, and all the fancy stuff, you should add some Xbox experiences there too. And of course, you could do it on dev kits for Xbox directly. On the Build conference 2 weeks ago, we announced that all retail Xbox consoles would be available to tune into dev kits by updating and uploading special app. So all of you could try and build their own UWP games for Xbox. Probably starting 2 weeks from now. So it would be available just after updating your console in preview stage. So if you want, you could go and try. What else? What services do we provide? Of course, it's profile. It's Microsoft account and all Xbox related stuff. It's reputation, rich presence, social leaderboards, games clips. Of course, achievements, because the achievements is one of the most motivating stuff in the gaming world, and everyone who engaging with platforms trying to invent the achievements. Of course, it's multiplayer. If we want to do a proper matchmaking and do a proper session directory, we could use Xbox for that too. And Gamepad API. Of course, if you want to go to console, you need to adopt your game to gamepad experience, because probably there are almost no games, or pretty few of them, except the games that are fully Kinect adopted, that are not supporting the gamepad. So if your game is not fitting enough to this gamepad story, or maybe the console is not the right place for your game, or you need to rethink your game mechanics about that a bit. So I have the short video. I hope we have some time for that. It's about some games that we announced on probably last E3.
You're up!
That's it. If you feel that your games are the same quality or even better than the games I showed before, here's your link, xbox.com/id. Just apply for the program and try to fit in the console world. That's probably it. I need to put it for if you want to take a picture of this short link, or you just remember it. So tooling. Of course, it's all middleware that you could find on the market because majority of them are supporting Windows. And it's Visual Studio community. It's free, fully featured, and even you could install it during your Unity install. So start building for Windows ecosystem today. It's lots of devices waiting for your games right now. And feel free to ping me if you have any questions about that. Thanks.
Thanks, Andrey.
Any time for questions, or we're short on schedule?
We have a lady from ARM up next, but one question.
Okay, one question. Anyone? Yep.
I have one question. In March, there was news that Microsoft acquired Xamarin, and
Yep.
I would like to know if that is somewhat related with the development line you showed here.
Yep.
Will the Xamarin be part of this, and will the cross-platform be available in Windows? I mean the game that would be developed for Windows be somewhat ported to iOS and Android.
Okay, speaking about your question, Xamarin is not fitting the game world very well. It's much easier to use any of middleware I showed before to do the amazing game and land it on any device on the world. For Android, iOS, any other. Windows, doesn't matter. Speaking about Xamarin, right now, Xamarin is available for anyone for free. If you are downloading Visual Studio Community Edition, you're able to get Xamarin for free, and you could use it how you want, as easy as that. We acquired Xamarin, we make Xamarin free, and driving Microsoft Story across Windows ecosystem and beyond it. So you could do all applications, all the games that you want to do for iOS, Android, and Windows on Visual Studio and Xamarin altogether for free. That's it. Yep.
How can I get an XDK test? Not for months, but for a couple of days.
You speaking about getting XDK dev kit fast?
Not the kit, just software for compile for Xbox.
Fast. Probably you should write me an email or someone else, maybe Annika. So the easiest way, there's a special team set up in the US who are responsible for covering all the requests for ID at Xbox. So there are not so many people there, but there are lots of requests there. So it's just a human factor how we could just react on all these requests. And if I see that we need to fasten it a bit, I could engage directly by myself and fasten it a bit. Right now, I'm the first point of contact for Russian and CIS game developers and helping them to get the dev kits. For Estonia, Lithuania, Litva, probably it's much easier because in Russia, we couldn't ship Xbox dev kits directly into the country. It's kind of a long, long story with the taxes, with the borders and all the stuff. So if you need some help, just let me know. We'll think about that, probably. One more question. Sorry for stealing your time.
We can go later. It's okay.
Yeah. Is it hard to put your application on the store? Are there a lot of conditions that you have to follow, like with the Apple Store, for example?
No.
Or is it much more relaxed?
Speaking the amount of calculators and Tetrises in the store, no.
Okay, great.
Yep, that's it. So please let's finish on that. Thanks a lot.